Have you ever wondered why there's so few black medical schools here in the States? Once upon a time, there were 19 black medical schools. Now there's only 4. What the hell happened? Well, the Flexner Report happened. Prior to 1904, there was no standardization on what a medical education actually was. Doctors, for the most part, were very poorly trained, and you had no idea what kind of a doctor you were really seeing. Kind of like today when everybody's calling themselves doctors. You had doctors of homeopathy, you had medical schools of osteopathy, you had a thing called eclectic medicine, which believed that all the cures would come from plants, kind of like a precursor to modern day herbalism. And then, of course, you had traditional black medical colleges. And without any standardization across all of these organizations, some of these medical schools are private, some of them were for profit, there was no consistency in the quality of physicians that were being produced. So in 1904, the American Medical Association, the AMA, founded the Council of Medical Education, CME, and their sole purpose was to restructure American medical education. So since they were the ones that now were going to define who was worthy to practice medicine, the AMA contracted with the Carnegie Institute, and they put together this committee headed by a guy named Abraham Flexner, who was neither a doctor, a scientist, nor an educator. And this dude went to 155 medical schools, all of them in the United States, and issued a report on every single one of them. See, Flexner and the AMA, well, more the AMA, felt there was too many doctors out there and there was too much competition. By the time Flexner was done, there was 160 MD granting universities here in the United States. By the time he was done, there was only 85. And then a few years later, in 1935, there were only 66. And although the Flexner Report couldn't shut down medical schools outright, nobody wanted to fund these medical schools if you fell on the wrong side of the Flexner Report. And only 2 black schools made the cut on the Flexner Report: Howard University and Meharry College. Not only was the Flexner Report like kerosene being thrown on the already systemic racism that existed, it also threw kerosene on the sexism that existed, because the remaining medical schools went back to a male-only admissions policy. White male. And faced with the increasing pressures to be held to the standards of the white schools who were funded to no end, Meharry and Howard really struggled, but they pulled it off and they stayed open. I'm sure this Flexner Report did some good. I mean, it was like a scythe of defunding for all of these medical schools that were probably marginal in producing dangerous doctors, but it had a disproportionate effect on black schools. It indirectly helped galvanize the legitimate osteopathic colleges, of which I am a graduate, and helped to winnow out the shady ones. So if you're curious about the shortages of doctors we have in this country and systemic racism in the medical profession, a good place to start your journey would be the Flexner Report. Take care, everybody.